Well, last week we shared with you how one Omaha landlord is using a loophole to continue removing tenants despite a federal ban on evictions during the pandemic.
Yeah, court documents show he evicted 4 of his tenants on the same day. 3 News Now reporter Kent Lutzen has followed this story and joins us live with an update. Kent?
Thanks, Jenny and Cerise. We shared with you the reality for one family evicted by William Stanek. While interviewing former tenants like Nicole Williams, we learned living conditions in the building were questionable, so we took a deeper dive, and here's what we found.
A year prior to her eviction, Nicole Williams says she started having major concerns about her Jones Street apartment complex.
They were coming and doing drugs in their hallway, busting out windows in their hallway, letting their dogs crap in their hallway, sometimes people crap in their hallway. Waking up to people sleeping in the hallways.
She says trying to communicate the problems to her landlord, William Stanek, didn't work, so she filed a formal complaint with the city.
He never tried to fix anything. He never, you know what I mean? You could tell he didn't care.
In digging through public records, we found her complaint towards Stanek was not the only one. Chief City Housing Inspector Scott Lane says 9 out of the 12 apartments in Stanek's building currently have an open violation case. Examples include holes in walls, broken floorboards, water leaking from ceilings, and even missing doors to the building.
It's horrible here.
Another tenant says he's experienced similar issues with the living conditions, adding it's disappointing to see his neighbors be evicted during a pandemic.
It's everybody's dream in this building to move out of this building, so that goes to say something.
That's what they did.
Williams says although she filed complaints about the building, it was still home. She says after being evicted due to a loophole in the system, it's opened her eyes to a much larger housing issue in the city.
The biggest problem is there's nowhere for us to go. You know what I mean? If I'm being honest, we looking for places to go, and there's not a market for us.
Now, we reached out to Stanek to talk about not only the complaints made against him, but also this loophole he's using to evict tenants. He never returned our phone calls. Chief City Housing Inspector Scott Lane did return our phone calls. He says the city does inspections, giving landlords proper time to fix these issues. If they're not fixed, it could result in fines or even jail time. And court documents show Stanek was fined at least 4 times and put on probation at least once in the last 4 years.
And Ken, I know last week you shared with us that Williams was homeless, living separated from other family members. Is that still the case for her?
Yeah, Jenny, I have been in constant contact with Nicole. She says her kids are still living with her sister. They have been for the last month. Nicole lives with her boyfriend in a hotel, and the only reason they live in that hotel is because he actually gets a discount because that's where he works. And I was able to they were able to work out a temporary deal with the hotel that they're living in downtown Omaha.
All right, thanks, Kent. Definitely feel for that family.